Now the benefits of using plugs. We're going to dive into the plugs now. I think they're easier to install, and maybe I'll say it now and say it again later too. Trying to dig a 1 gallon container into heavy, sticky clay soil is a nightmare. And it's especially difficult if you're older or have physical issues that just make it harder. So when you can do a plug that's, gosh, what, an inch or two wide, something like that, isn't that easier? You're digging a smaller hole, right? So it's just less effort. More bang for your buck. We're going to get into that here in a second. Faster establishment. I do believe that plugs establish faster because there's less shock to the root system because there's just fewer roots. You put a 1 gallon container in there, it's got a lot more roots, and those roots are going to take a lot longer to establish and get out and get situated. So you're going to have to water the plant a lot longer. Small plant, it's going to be touching the native soil. Whatever soil you have on your site, it's going to be touching it a lot sooner, and it's just going to get going a lot sooner, and you won't have to water it for as long. Typically, depends on site, depends on plant species, and less plastic waste. Sometimes there's less plastic in a little 2-inch plug pot than there is in a big 1 gallon container pot. Basically, I want you to tattoo this on your forehead. Don't be afraid of plugs. Maybe that makes a good t-shirt. I don't know. Just don't be afraid of them. Not that much different than a gallon pot. So here you go. 2.5 inch pot on the left. That's probably the one you're going to most commonly see for sale. It's a pretty small pot, certainly easy to dig, certainly easier to dig than that 1 gallon one in the center. My favorite is to get a 50-gallon tray of something, but I'm also, as a garden designer, working a lot in larger landscapes so that, I do need 50 of a kind. I need 50 echinacea, I need 50 dahlia, I need 50 bouteloua, and hundreds of more. So the one on the right makes the most sense to me, but the one on the left is the one you're going to see most often. There it is in profile a little bit. Basic sizes there so you can get an idea of what you're going to be dealing with, how you're going to be working with them. And this is the big one for me. I think it's a big one for most people. So that 2.5 inch pot on the left, generally when you're going to a nursery that sells those sizes, they're going to be charging in the neighborhood of $3 to $5. You might see them a little bit less. I don't think you're going to see it more than $5. Or you can go and buy a 1 gallon plant for $10 to $20. Now the reason that 1 gallon plant costs more is not because it's in a bigger container. Well, it sort of is, but it's more because a nursery has spent more time growing that plant. That plant in that 1 gallon container is not, just a couple months old. It's a year or two old, maybe 3 in some cases. So they put a lot of resources into it, and they have to charge you for that time and those resources. That isn't the case with that pot on the left, and even less so with the tray on the right. So even with the tray on the right, you're still going to get very well-developed root systems in those plugs, but you're not going to be paying for 2 or 3 years of worth of growth. So you basically have on that tray on the right 50 plants. So when you take that gallon container, let's say it's $20. Do the math, right? One on the right, way better.